Week 14. Ghost, how are we doing today, man? Sorry, this hat's like bugging the shit out of me a little bit. But
Doing
yeah,
well.
week
It's
14.
snow all over the ground here north of the border. It's getting to look a lot like the holiday season is quickly approaching, and that's when NFL DFS is at its peak. So weather starts to play a factor, and we get some extremely enticing matchups because I feel like the NFL of all major sports, I feel like the NFL do a tremendous job typically with their schedule, other than the occasional Steelers Patriots primetime game. But there's some great matchups today with playoff implications and seeding and whatnot. So it's going to be a great slate.
Yeah, absolutely. It was actually 55 degrees in Chicago the last 2 days. I had some buddies play golf on Friday. I did not, but yeah. So the complete opposite of you, which I will not complain because I'm sure winter's coming in an absolute hurry. But let's go through it. Like you said, I think there's a ton of obviously very close spreads, a lot of playoff implications. And I believe only 2 games with semi-severe weather, correct? That'd be the Rams at Baltimore. Looks like it's going to rain a ton there. And then potentially the same thing in New York for the Jets game hosting Houston. So let's go through quarterbacks real quick. Top of the board, Josh Allen. I'm seeing 5% ownership. Are you close to that? Because I feel like our ownership, the aggregates that I pull have been significantly different than what you're seeing on your end. So I do love to kind of bounce back and forth with you on that, because if Josh Allen is under 5% in ownership, I want all of the Josh Allen I could possibly have.
Yeah, I see him between 5 and 10, closer
Okay.
to that 5 and 7 range there. So that was actually where I was going to start. So we could just dive right into that game because it's our 1-2 quarterbacks probably on the entire slate, but also in pricing. So I guess we could start right at the top there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with Patrick Mahomes, especially now with no Pacheco. Like it's going to be a more pass infused offense than it already was. Good luck on picking which running back that is. Do we know if Deneric Prince is active? Did they activate him to the full roster? Because I'm interested. I don't feel like they would ever go into the game with just 2 running backs, because Clyde is
So
certainly injury prone, a little guy, and McKinnon obviously coming off multiple weeks being banged up.
So I was actually going to mention that same thing, and again, that are listening are probably like, "Oh, they chat beforehand, and like we actually haven't spoken before we get on this show, right? So kind of just see our different points of view and bring that to all of you guys that are out there listening. And I was actually going to bring that up in the sense that even if they elevate a third running back to this roster, I have a feeling we're going to see. I don't want to say the KC of old, right? But we're going to see wide receivers getting involved in the backfield, whether it be on a couple jet sweeps, a couple one of these trickery plays where you're seeing a direct snap to Travis Kelce or something. I feel like this is the type of environment where the Chiefs would open up that type of playbook that they have. I know it's only week 14. It's not the AFC Championship game, and believe it or not, they actually do that more when it's do or die for them, and they have to get to the Super Bowl or they have to get to the AFC Championship. But this is a classic playoff atmosphere type game for them, right? So, do we see Kadarius Toney getting a couple jet sweeps? Do we see Rashee Rice getting involved in that run game somewhat? I'm not saying they're going to take snaps in the backfield, but I do think that other people are going to carry the ball other than Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Jake McKinnon in this one.
Yeah, it's going to be goofy. So for me, I'm staying away from that running back situation as a whole. I'll probably play Clyde in cash just because what is he, 4,200 on DraftKings? Just
Yeah.
take it. Even if he gets 8 points, who cares? But yeah, Josh Allen, my favorite quarterback by far. Patrick Mahomes, probably a close second. And not really into Lamar. I'm fine with it, though, if you want to. It's going to be a very gross, rainy game. Could, obviously a guy that could run for 100 yards. I don't see a ton in the passing game, but that's really not why we play Lamar. CJ Stroud with no Tank Dell, not really interested there. All right. This is where it got interesting for me. A 1% Justin Herbert. Yay or nay? Or are we just not Herbert guys until he gets another pass catcher back? Because when Josh Palmer went out, obviously Mike Williams getting hurt weeks ago hurt this offense a lot. Then Josh Palmer stepped up. It's pretty much Keenan or bust because we're not getting anything out of Austin Eckler. Maybe this is a good week for him. It is a great, matchup against Denver's run defense or lack thereof. But I don't know, dude. It seems like he's lost 2 steps, not just a
So
step.
I didn't want to come on the show this morning and start roasting Justin Herbert. I like Justin Herbert. I think it's a good spot for them. They're at home, and it's pretty much they have to win out to even have a shot. And those are the types of situations I've been talking about that for the last 2 weeks. Pretty much as of like week 12, that's really where I started looking at that type of stuff, and it's worked out tremendously, right? We talked about the Eagles San Fran game, and then last week it was I forget which game it was, but again, it's these playoff type games are absolutely huge. And while it doesn't seem like much, both these teams desperately need to win, right? So it is something that I'm looking at. I'm not an NFL offensive coordinator. I never claimed to be, but if it was up to me, man, Joshua Kelly would be getting 10 plus carries in this game, and Austin Eckler needs to be catching the football. Because I get it, you have a ton of draft stock invested in a guy like Quentin Johnston. It's not working out right now, man. And your season's on the line. I'm not saying that he won't be an amazing wide receiver one in X amount of years from now. It could be as soon as next year. I don't know, right? I'm not an NFL OC, but your season's on the line right now. There are jobs at risk. You need to get Austin Eckler involved in the passing game, give Joshua Kelly some carries here, and figure this thing out. For that reason, I'm interested in Justin Herbert, because if it plays out the way that I think it plays out, it's going to be very easy to stack him. And that's exactly what I want when I'm playing. Believe it or not, it's a pretty risky play at 7,500 when there's Josh Allen at the top there. There's Justin Fields right below Justin Herbert. And it's like, I don't know. I got there in large field tournaments just because I went Herbert with Eckler and Keenan Allen. I think that this is the type of slate where you're getting a number 2 receiver in Austin Eckler, where no one's going to play him. The price is still decently high there, where definitely nobody's going to play him. Everyone's going to play
Right. No
McCaffrey,
one's going
Alvin
to play him.
Kamara.
No,
No one's
it's just
playing
it's a
Austin Eckler.
name brand price, and that is it.
It's
'Cause there's been no
exactly
production
that.
for it.
It's a price that's attached to a name. It's kind of like Zion Williamson right now in NBA. He's always going to be in that top tier pricing, and the guy just doesn't look that good right now. And it's like that. Austin Eckler isn't performing, but his ceiling is that big that he'll always have that price tag attached to him, right? So I went Herbert, Eckler, and Keenan Allen because if they have any chance of figuring this thing out on offense, those guys need to combine for 20 targets, if not 30 targets. Like that has to be the game plan moving forward. Kelly gets the work on the ground, 10 to 12 carries. I'm not saying give Joshua Kelly 22 carries, but give Kelly double-digit carries. Get Eckler more involved in the passing game and get him into open field, because he just doesn't look explosive out of that backfield right now. So I do have some lineups like that, but nothing overly crazy because I have little faith in this offense right now.
Oh, I mean, it is do or die for that offense. So I do like
It
Justin
really
Herbert.
is, and that's what, because I've been talking about this for years, and especially in this year, like I said, I started talking about it in like week 12. These types of situations are things that I love to build my lineups around at this time of the season. And as much as I want to say I don't have faith in this offense, it's literally that exact situation. They have to win out, and I need to get some form of exposure to it.
Love it. All right, let's hit a value quarterback real quick for Jeff. 7,000 or less on FanDuel. What do you got for us, Ghost? That is your native area.
Let me go and check.
I mean, Jake Browning, 6,500. Unfortunately, dude, is he the highest owned quarterback on your projections right now?
Yes. On FanDuel?
On both. On DraftKings, I'm seeing he's the highest too.
No, it's Justin Fields on DK.
Justin Fields on DK. Okay.
Yeah. 7,000 or less, man.
I'm not saying Minshew. I can't say that name on this. That's like playing Adam Thielen.
I mean, I would have to say Jake Browning, as crazy as that sounds. Derek Carr, it's like you can make a case that all these options should be completely unplayable, but you could also play every single one of these 3 guys that I'm about to name. Jake Brown, it's just what it is. But Jake Browning, it's pretty self-explanatory. It is what it is. Derek Carr with North Taysom Hill, it kind of intrigues me now, because that's going to be more of a, no foolishness offense. Where the touches are going. Now that Taysom Hill is not playing in this one, you don't have to worry about Taysom Hill throwing the ball or running the ball or throwing it to himself and running it in. There's none of that today. So I'm not completely opposed to $6,600 Derek Carr. And this is probably my least favorite of the one, but Geno Smith might throw the ball 60 times today. They're going to be chasing points early and often. San Fran's at home. That team is an absolute wagon. Geno Smith is going to have to throw the ball 60 times, and there's nobody in that price range on FanDuel that's going to come remotely close to attempts with Geno Smith. He might throw 6 picks and get sacked 10 times, but He's going to throw the football 60 times today.
All right. CEH C9 or K9? What the hell is K9?
That's Kenneth Walker.
Oh, KW3.
I assume this is a season-long question because
yeah. It's
big-time price differences.
Full PPR. I'm gonna go Keaton Mitchell.
I was gonna say with the weather conditions, I think Baltimore runs the football 30 times today.
I mean, he's got the highest prop for all the Baltimore running backs. So, and it's one of your favorites sections of the year, rookies after a bye. So let's go with that.
Yeah,
let's go with Keaton. DK or Reed? DK. What?
Is that DK Metcalf?
I would assume so. Or Jaden Reed. That's not a question.
Play your studs, and you got to play your studs.
Yeah. And then Derrick Henry. Or I'm assuming that's James Cook. Give us some initials there. There's a lot of confusion there. All right. It is Henry Day again. What do you think about Henry?
We'll talk about that when we get to running backs.
All right, let's finish quarterbacks.
Well, yeah, we'll finish quarterbacks.
All right, Brock Purdy's going to draw a ton of ownership. Justin Fields apparently is going to draw a ton of ownership. Yes, I am seeing that now. Okay, I like Justin Herbert a ton. Pay downs, you like any? Let's go 6K or below. Is there anybody just notable? I don't want to just take 20 minutes on quarterbacks. Obviously, Jake Browning is going to be extremely popular on DraftKings, especially.
Yeah,
I'm fine with if you want to use them in cash games and tournaments. I think it's starting to get a little crazy just for one good game with Jake Browning to go all in, myself included. I had a game stack going on in one of my mains. I think I'm going to bail on that. But yeah, I mean, dude, everybody's paying less than 7K for a quarterback this week. I think just go up.
In tournaments, absolutely. I kind of just stole that part of the show, my bad, when I ran through the 7K quarterbacks on FanDuel. It would be those three guys that I talked about. I mean, it's Browning, Carr, Geno Smith purely based on volume. If you missed that part of the show, please go rewind it. Don't go Geno Smith because I just said that now, but go and rewind that. It's going to be a volume thing for me, but I can't really see myself going below $6,500 Brock Purdy. And I want to get as close to the top as possible. So
I dig it. All right. Running backs. We do got a good question here from Amar. I wish we could do like a giveaway or something because this is a headache question. Who would you sit?
It's crazy to me, man. I'm sitting Tony Pollard.
Okay. I mean, ETN's got to get 25 touches because Trevor Lawrence is going to play, it sounds like, right?
Yeah, but
son of a bitch, that is a hard question.
I know my Cowboys, man. Doc's going to throw the ball 60 times tonight.
All right. Running backs. I'm not even going to talk about McCaffrey. We don't need to do that. You guys don't need to watch us to say you want to play Christian McCaffrey. Alvin Kamara's ownership now went through the roof.
Skyrocket.
Yeah,
because Taysom's
out. He's the best player on the board. And, dude, I like Austin Eckler. I'm with you on that. I don't know. Dude, he's 7,500 on FanDuel, 7,600 on DraftKings. Do you just say fuck it and you got to play him on FanDuel and just bail on DraftKings? Like at a time,
I actually went the opposite because I want him. I want him eclipsing. I'm gonna be greedy about this, right? If I'm playing this offense, where all three of them they're not at their peak pricing because we've seen Justin Herbert get to that 8K range. We've seen Austin Eckler get to that Kamara CMC range, and we've seen Keenan Allen was what was he the other week? He was 9.2 or something like that. That one week,
jumping off.
Like
still 7,600.
I want Austin Eckler eclipsing 100 receiving yards this week if I'm playing him, and that's what I'm hoping for. And I want that on DK. I want full PPR. I want Austin Eckler going 8 for 100 and a touchdown. Receiving
catch prop is 3.5.
I'm telling if they have a chance of winning this game, and I reiterate, I'm not an NFL OC guy, but if they have a chance to win this game, there are two guys getting the football. That's it. That's how they have to win this game today.
I like Gerald Everett a little bit. I think he could do a little. That's gross.
He's all reliable, like Mr. All Reliable. That's what it is. But like it's just. If they need explosive plays in the middle of the field, they got to find Austin Eckler way more touches in the receiving game than just letting him try to find holes in the O-line that are non-existent. He can't figure it out right now. So
Okay. All right. I think it's a better play on FanDuel. Is there any ownership there? Oh yeah, he's actually quite popular on FanDuel.
you think he gets in the box?
I don't think anybody plays him. Yeah, I think he gets in the box. What is his touchdown odds? That's got to be like minus 130. I think is what the 80 mile has.
I feel like this is how we should be hedging this Eckler exposure. So if he throws up a stinker,
I just don't know if, like, dude, to me, we're talking about tournaments here, guys. Obviously, we're going on a rant for some reason, but Austin Eckler, $1,100 more expensive than Bijan Robinson.
man, we made it 15 minutes without mentioning any Falcons. We made it 15 minutes.
No, dude, the guy's getting 20 touches a game now. Is Vita Vea in or out? If anybody could let us know that. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
Ghost wants this. He wants reduced carries, keep him fresh for the pass catching, right? Like we don't play Austin Eckler for.
I don't want him getting 20 carries for 32 rushing yards.
Yeah, he's still their goal line back. So just get a bunch of passes and then get the goal line carries. All right. Mid upper tier, Kyron Williams, ETN, Josh Jacobs is in a decent spot. Rachaad White, it's fine. I don't like running backs against tight end or against Atlanta. I'm sorry. And then you're starting to really pay a premium for Rachaad White, almost 7K.
Yeah.
No thanks. Again, Bijan Robinson, I don't care how popular he is. If Vita Vea is out, 6,500 for Bijan Robinson. You're still got to worry about Art Smith a little bit, but the snap count continues to rise and fall on the other side for Tyler Algier. Bijan Robinson, I think, like the way that he fills up the stat sheet when he gets his touches is like a poor man's Alvin Kamara. I wouldn't say a poor man's McCaffrey just because the offense doesn't have nearly as much red zone equity as San Fran. I don't think really anybody outside of maybe Philly does. So I won't say that, but Alvin Kamara and Bijan Robinson, I think, are kind of, if you put their stat lines up, obviously the receptions are going to go a little more in favor of Alvin Kamara, but they are damn near the same type of player in PPR format. So Bijan Robinson, 6,500. Too cheap. So as much as I do want to play like Austin Eckler, Bijan Robinson's going to outscore him, and he's $1,100 less on DraftKings. I think you just take the value.
I'm playing both Detroit backs. $100 more and $100 less than Bijan.
Okay. I'd rather
I'm not playing them together, but I'm duplicating lineups and going one over the other. I think David Montgomery has an absolute day. David Montgomery's going to have a day.
All right. In terms of mid-tier to lower tier, the value guys, you have any love for Joe Mixon, right around 15% ownership. I don't like how much we saw Chase Brown, but they need to play Chase Brown.
They need to.
The guy looked pretty damn explosive. Joe Mixon's going to be their goal line back, so you're not losing a ton of value there. They do like to pass to Joe Mixon, so I wouldn't fret if you're on him. But Zach Moss, 5,900, we are locking in cash games. I will not talk you off of him in tournaments either, just because how much usage the guy has. And this is a much better matchup than Tennessee. I think we touched on that last week. It's a tough spot against Tennessee anytime, especially with Simmons in there. Zach Moss is pretty much like a lock for me in damn near every format, unless if I'm not playing him, I'm playing Pittman. And I'm fine if you do a game set, I can play them both. But I do want exposure to that Indianapolis offense against Cincinnati's D. James Cook, I think, is an interesting GPP dart. He's going to be sub 5% owned, just because the price is up there. The guy is getting touches. We are just very concerned with the goal line work. But, if this game does shoot out, like James Cook probably has, besides Kamara, like the second highest probability to lead this slate in receptions, right? If that game goes according to,
other than McCaffrey. Other than McCaffrey, yeah.
Yeah, McCaffrey too. McCaffrey's
but he's in a tier of his own. But yeah, other than people not named Christian McCaffrey, he's probably number 2 to Alvin Kamara. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm okay with it. And then Javonte Williams, 5,800. I see ownership just going away from him the more I keep pressing refresh. I think that's now probably because everybody is going to play the combination of Alvin Kamara and Zach Moss on DraftKings, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. And
so I love Javonte.
Bijan's actually right there in that number 3, number 4 spot, where if people aren't going Zach Moss, Kamara, McCaffrey, they're going Bijan at 6,500.
And probably Zach Moss.
Zach Moss leads the entire slate.
Yeah, that's an easy one. All right. Below that, Alexander Madison popped a little bit for me in the projections, sub 5% ownership. Don't hate it. But the only other guy that I would be interested in playing is Keaton Mitchell. But again, that's so hard to handicap. Sure, the player props have him leading this backfield, but the touchdown odds say that the ball is going right back to Gus Edwards or Lamar Jackson when it gets on, within the 10-yard line. And I'm sure that's the case. So if you're playing Keaton Mitchell, you're not on an island. He's going to be 5, 10, 12% owned. And you're praying for a long play for him to run one into the end zone because he's not going to get goal line carries. Do you have any faith in Keaton Mitchell?
I don't want to say I have no faith. I just don't really like the lineups the way that I was building them. It didn't really force me to go into that range of running backs.
Okay. Another question. God, Amar, you got way too.
These are some great questions.
Laporta or Hawk? What the hell? How'd you draft this team? I love it. I'm going Hawkinson all day. I think Justin Jefferson.
I have Hawkinson, so this is a purely biased answer. I have Hawkinson on my team, so I'm going Hawkinson.
Hawkinson's my main league tight end is too. So let's go Hawk.
Yeah, let's go Hawk.
2 backs here: Mixon, Ford, or Gibbs. Mixon and Gibbs all day, right?
Echo the same thing.
Yeah, player studs. All right, that'll do the running backs. I don't think there's any.
I do like Gus Edwards on FanDuel for what it's worth. I think if I'm looking at
his price,
if we're looking at cheaper running backs there, looking at guys that could get 2 touchdowns at 6,500 on FanDuel. You have to worry about Lamar running in the football, obviously, but the number one concern for Baltimore right now is staying healthy. So I think Gus Edwards gets a couple goal line carries and he sneaks into the box. I think he doesn't go nuts, probably goes like 12 carries, 50-something yards, but he gets in the box twice. And that's what we need on FanDuel.
Absolutely. I'm okay with that. I like Gus, especially when everybody's going to start to show love for Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, Stephon Diggs, sub 5%. You could obviously fire that up. That is a great game atmosphere. Keenan Allen, what is the ownership you're seeing on Keenan? I'm starting to think that Denver sub 5. Oh gosh, I think that's maybe a game sack, Ghost. I think we run it back with Javonte.
We're gonna build it. We're gonna build it. Tell you what, this is how we're gonna do it.
Cortland.
Yeah. So we're gonna go a 3x2. We're gonna see if this mathematically makes sense. Don't be roasting me in the comments if it doesn't mathematically make sense yet. This is just.
I'll build it live here. Hold on.
We're gonna go Herbie, Eckler, Keenan Allen. And we're going to run that back with Javonte and Sutton. And whatever else fits, whatever fits. I don't care if we're paying a $2,000 defense against San Fran. I don't care. Like, it's that's what we need for that game to go off. And we're going to put it in the afternoon only slate.
Okay, there you go. You could do that.
We're going to put it in the afternoon only slate. That's the way that we're going to do it. Because I rather not risk that lineup outscoring the entire slate. I rather just saying that lineup will outscore 99% rostered Christian McCaffrey in the afternoon slate, because we're not going to be able to fit McCaffrey in this lineup, and he's going to be 99% rostered. So if that lineup goes bonkers, all we need is for it to outscore Christian McCaffrey pretty much. So
this is actually pretty good. I did not do Eckler though. I refuse.
I thought you were talking me into Eckler.
No. I wouldn't do that. It's pretty good. I went Herbie double, Keenan Allen, Gerald Everett, running back with Javonte and Cortland Sutton.
Can we get CMC in there or no?
I'm not playing CMC. Not at all. Not that I don't want to. Not that I don't want to.
You're not playing CMC in cash.
No, I'm playing Kamara in cash. They're the same guy, dude. They're the same guy. No Taysom. Like, he's going to outscore Christian McCaffrey. Let's go back onto the wide receivers. All right, Keenan Allen. Love the spot for him. Justin Jefferson. It's a great price, but 8,500. I'm on Ross cheaper than him. Mike Evans with no AJ Terrell. I believe he was ruled out for Atlanta. Also, please, if you guys have the injury report, let us know on Vita Vea, because I think that matters a lot for Bijan Robinson. Jamar Chase is cheaper than Justin Jefferson. I feel like we just go down there. Devontae Adams, I like him a ton. Like, dude, this is an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment of riches.
Priced above Devontae Adams. Show some love for your boy Nico.
Where are all the Cooper Kupp lovers at this year? I was drafting him in round 1, working out for you guys. I'm so glad. I took 1.5 years of a massive L being anti-Cooper Kupp, but it's back. We are back. Michael Pittman too. I mean, the dude's catch prop is I think 7.5 or 77 yards.
He's getting peppered with targets. This guy, it's crazy.
It's a Keenan Allen workload. So up top, let's go 7K and above. Give me two favorites there. Is there? Well, let's start here. Is there anybody you must play in cash? I think in terms of ownership that I'm seeing, one of Mike Evans or Jamar Chase should probably be in your cash lineup. Up top.
For me, it's going to be, and we're talking cash. I'm going.
Would you
Jamar
agree?
Chase.
Yeah. Like, because it doesn't look like any of the guys 8K above are drawing that much ownership. So in cash, we kind of need that stud wide receiver, Jamar Chase or Mike Evans.
I didn't go. I'm still trying to rework that. I know I'm going to find a way to do it. I'm still trying to rework it, but right now I don't have one of those guys because I'm like $300 to $400 short. But I am going to play Jamar Chase, yes, in cash probably. That would be the guy.
Yeah, I'm between him or Mike Evans. I'm probably going to go Jamar Chase, and then tournaments. I love Devontae Adams. I love Jamar Chase, obviously, but I love
this one might come back to bite me, but my number 2 most utilized wide receiver on the slate is Stephon Diggs.
Okay. I don't think that's going to bite you at all. He's due for a big, big game, and no one's on him. The outside of Kansas City's coverage is not very good. Stephon Diggs still, like, I think you and I have been saying it for 3 years. He's the best route runner in the league.
He's the best route runner in the league.
Let's do it.
The other two in that, I went Jamar Chase for cash, but my 2 guys for tournaments in this range of everyone that you named there between Diggs and where'd you stop it at Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams?
Yeah,
I would say Diggs and ARSB. No Vita Vea, by the way, for Bijan.
He's out.
Yeah.
Wow.
At least that's what I'm seeing. Somebody correct me because I don't want to be staring at my phone while I'm on air, but I think that's what I just saw.
Yeah, that's in the chat here. Okay. I mean, you got to play Bijan Robinson now. Cool. All right. Good for that game. I think that game shoots out a little bit, and that's one of the playoff battles. All right. 6K and below. Any love for Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel? It's tough. It's so tough to like just roll the dice on which one it is. Last week we were dead on with Deebo.
I love Brandon Ayuk, man. I love Brandon Ayuk in this spot. It was a tough decision for me. See, here's I can make a case for both, and I'll explain my rationale behind using both of these guys, not together, but why I'm playing both of them just as much. And it's a very easy swap to make. They're $100 apart on DraftKings.
Sure.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong in the chat or if Stix has the injury report, but I'm pretty sure Elijah Mitchell is not going to go today. That changes things big time. And we've seen Deebo get more carries, and I see the concern on your face about not playing McCaffrey now.
No, I don't. But I'm okay.
But it's just what it is. Player. McCaffrey's going to get a ton of touches, and Deebo Samuel will get sweeps. He will get carries. He will get Deebo Samuel type work where this guy is just electric the moment he gets the football. It doesn't matter if it's 10 yards past the line of scrimmage or 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He finds a way to make things happen. Brandon Ayuk on a deep ball is going for a touchdown today, man. And I have both of these guys just as much in all my lineups, but I wanted to hedge it a little bit, even though it's not necessarily a warranted hedge because I have pretty much equal split to the two, but I think Brandon Ayuk's longest reception prop is very intriguing today because I think Purdy finds him on a deep ball. On a play action pass, McCaffrey's going to run the ball a ton today. And on play action, Brock Purdy finds Brandon Ayuk on a deep ball today. That's my call.
Dig it. All right. I'm not playing either of them. And that worries me a little bit. It is the highest implied team total on the slate with 30 points. That is by a wide margin. 5 points higher than KC. So
yeah.
If you want to just get different, just play that offense, it looks like, or play Purdy and cash is probably the route that I will go. Chris Godwin, 6K or below. Anybody there? I like Gabe Davis, man. The guy shreds cover 2. We see a ton of cover 2 for KC. Rashee Rice is going to be 25% owned. I think you staple that in cash, and I think you could play him with Clyde Edwards-Helaire if you need the savings. But Rashee Rice is I mean, it's guy's getting 8 targets a game from Patrick Mahomes now. I do like the spot a lot on the other side for Travis Kelce, but it is what it is. And then Drake London. So it looks like everybody's playing a very expensive running back, a very expensive wide receiver, and then the two values, Drake London and Rashid Rice, is pretty much what the chalk cash build is going to be.
With Zach Moss and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, yes.
Yep. I dig that. Okay. What are your thoughts on these value wide receivers? I love Drake London, but when that ownership's that high, it makes me really, really, really want Bijan.
I'm not playing any Falcons, but I get the spot.
The big offense, man.
I'm not going to go there, but I'm not playing Drake London. I get the spot. I'm not saying that it's an atrocious play, whatever. I understand. I can't get there at the percent that he's being rostered. I don't really know if this counts as a value wide receiver, but I'll say that it does because you threw in Rashid Rice in there. I like Tyler Lockett a ton for tournaments to have that run back with my Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel exposure. I like Tyler Lockett a ton in tournaments.
Okay, that's cool.
The edge rush will be there from both sides for San Fran. Between Chase Young and Bosa, that front seven absolutely wrecks havoc. Gino's going to get, like I was saying earlier in the show, Gino can throw 6 picks, get sacked 12 times. I don't really care. He's going to throw the football 60 times, and that's what I want. And I'm not playing Geno Smith, but I am playing Tyler Lockett because he won't have time to wait for DK Metcalf to get 40 yards down the football field. He's going to have to get that ball out quick. Tyler Lockett over the slot turns in a vintage performance today. And at 5,600, I do like that a ton.
Respect. All right. Josh
we didn't
Downs.
mention DJ Moore either. If you're playing Justin Fields, you absolutely have to play DJ Moore, right?
Yeah, I would. I mean, that's where the ball's going. And DJ Moore's an absolute stud. I think his ownership's going to be pretty high out there. I mean,
it's really high right now.
Everybody
really
up
high.
6,500 and above is pretty much a stud play. Anybody below Drake London? I like Jerry Jeudy. I think on the inside against Easting Bassey is a really, really good matchup for him. And Jeudy was pretty pissed last week. If you watched that game against Houston, he had like 2 seam routes that were wide open, could have been a touchdown. He was like doing jumping jacks, telling Russ to throw him the ball. Hopefully they watch some film and realize that Jerry Jeudy is still an elite route runner. I like him a lot at 4,700. I think he could be in that lineup we were just making there. Anybody in the 4K like Jackson Smith, the Jigba, has really good player props in terms of that. The 80 mile has him for damn near 5 catches. And then you have any interest in punting to Khalil Shakir?
Gotta get out of my head, man. Those are the 2 guys that I was going to mention when you were talking about these fun wide receivers. I just made my case for Tyler Lockett. It's the same thing. Like, I'm not playing DK Metcalf because I strongly believe that Gino will not be able to sit in the pocket and wait for DK Metcalf to get downfield. So it's the same reason why I'm playing JSN. And playing Shakir, look, I know it's not the prettiest of plays. The snap count is he could trend downwards at any point in time now, but I want exposure, as much exposure as possible to this game. So I am playing Shakir where I'm playing Josh Allen. I'm always double stacking Josh Allen. I played Stephon Diggs virtually everywhere with Josh Allen. And then I either double stacked with Gabe Davis, Dalton Kincaid, or Shakir in that order of level of exposure. So I have a ton of Gabe Davis. Everyone knows how I feel about Gabe Davis. So if I couldn't get there, then I went to Shakir or Kincaid at the tight end position.
Cool. All right. Any punt wide receivers like 35 or below, or are we all good there? There's no Mingo for me this week. It worked out great last week. Now it seems like he's going to be relatively popular. I have no interest in that. But anything there?
There's no one that really interests me. Like I can't really get behind many of these guys. I mean, any one of these guys on KC could go for a long touchdown. It's Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to use a punt and pray strategy on a slate where I don't really feel the need to do that.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense to me. Okay. Tight ends. Travis Kelce, you guys know what to do there. If you could afford him, play him. I'm not a huge fan, but he does have incredible splits against the Buffalo Bills. Sam Laporta, 6,100. It's like hit or miss with him. I don't like the game environment that much in Chicago this weekend. I think
they steamroll Chicago.
I think it'll be interesting. I think Chicago stays in. I think it's going to be a slow-paced game. It's pretty windy outside, too. I like TJ Hawkinson a ton. Everybody, let's get this straight though. Everybody is going to play value tight ends this week.
Yeah.
That being Kyle Pitts and Isaiah Likely. I really like these guys right here. I'm pretty much different, and I'm okay with Likely and Cash. Just do it if you got to do it. I like Hawkinson. I mean, you could always play George Kittle again. It's a 30-point implied team total for San Fran. The issue for me there is I don't know which guy it's going to be because they all do it. Gerald Everett. I kind of like Kate Otten a little bit too as a pivot over Chalk Brevin Jordan. But Kate Otten didn't have a target last week, so do not feel comfortable playing that guy. Gerald Everett is pretty much the second best pass catcher on the Chargers, so I'm okay with that. And it's the number one DVOA matchup against Denver there. So I'm cool with that. What are your thoughts on tight end?
I'm trying my best to get to this 5K range, or I guess I could say 6K because Hawkinson is right there at 6K. But that trio of Hawk, Kittle, and Kincaid for me is really interesting. You're pretty much getting a tight end that's a wide receiver 2 quality player and quality fantasy player as well for much cheaper than a wide receiver 2 price, right? So that for me is something that's interesting, and this is always the position that I love to get different at. That trio there is very interesting to me in tournaments. Isaiah Likely, like that. I had a ton of Lamar stacks until that weather report came out. If you play him, great. I went down to Gerald Everett because I don't know what's going to happen in that game, right? So there's that. One punt tight end that I will mention for everyone that's playing Jake Browning out there. Tanner Hudson at 2,800, you really don't need him to do much, and that probably opens up the world for you and gets you off Brevin Jordan chalk and all these other punt tight end chalks. If you're playing Jake Browning in tournaments, you don't need him to get in the box. You don't need much there. If he goes 4 for 40 at 2,800, you're laughing there. So not completely opposed to that.
Love it. All right. Let's do a recap. Defenses or anything you want to talk about there? I mean, I'm always in terms of like play who fits. Because anything can happen. You know, you can play the damn Bears if you want to. Jared Goff could suck on the road. It's going to be windy. They can get a pick 6. Chiefs, Bills are both really good defenses. Price down, like you could do that. The Browns are probably the best play in cash at 25% ownership or higher, so play them in cash for sure. Other than that, just do what you got to do. Is there anybody that you love on the defensive side? Otherwise, I hate talking about defense. Just wish it would
hope
leave.
For the best. Hope for whoever fits, and then hope for the best.
All right. Cash game quarterback, GPP quarterback, hit it.
Fields in cash, Josh Allen in tournaments.
All right.
Honorable mention of Brock Purdy as well in tournaments.
I'm going Jake Browning in cash, and then 2 GPP guys, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert.
Threw me off for the Jake Browning. Okay. I like it.
He's getting so much ownership. He's 5,200. It gets me Alvin Kamara. All right, I'll start running backs. Cash, Alvin Kamara, and Zach Moss. Tournaments, Bijan, and Javante. You can still play Moss in tournaments. Don't be afraid.
You're gonna hate me for this one, but Cash, I'm going McCaffrey and Zach Moss.
Dude, and play Kamara. What are you doing?
Tournaments. I'm not sweating out 50% plus rostered Christian McCaffrey like last week, man. That was greasy. I still made it over the pay line, but that was
makes you feel alive.
That was too much of a sweat, man. The guy gets 99 touches every game. No, I can't do it. McCaffrey and Moss and cash tournaments. You know what? He worked out extremely well for me last week. I'm going David Montgomery as my. I'm looking at my exposure. David Montgomery is really high. So David Montgomery. I'm only giving 1.
Gross. Cool. That's disgusting, but
it worked out well every week, man. I've been on a serious heater. You gotta.
I know, which is why I'm gonna ride Justin Herbert today. I love that. I'm gonna add him to the article right after this too, because his player prop keeps going up too. All right, cash wide receivers: Rashee Rice, Drake London. Take the 2 values. Tournaments. Give me Courtland Sutton and Keenan Allen.
I like it.
down with that?
Cash,
Down
I'm
with that cause?
going. I'll echo the same message with Rishi Rice. And to give another option, whether you're playing Justin Fields or not, DJ Moore at 6,500 there kind of fits my build pretty well in cash. So I'll say DJ Moore. Tournaments, Stephon Diggs and the Ayuk Samuel combination. Gabe Davis. It's a San Fran Buffalo week for me this week. Those four guys.
Bijan or Mixon this week? Bijan all day, right?
I don't want to say all day, but yeah, Bijan.
Yes, all day.
I'll still take
Dude,
Bijan.
you play Bijan Robinson. It's the
Okay.
Falcons have to win. There's no Vita Vea. See if it. I bet you his rushing property.
Horns up.
Horns up. Yeah, you're playing this guy. 70 rushing yards, 3. Dude, the guy's got 100 all-purpose yard. 100 all-purpose yards.
Play Bijan. Play Bijan.
100 all-purpose yards. One other guy has that.
Do you want me to just mass swap all of my David Montgomery lineups to Bijan? Is that what you're telling me to do?
Yes, you should.
You gonna fund that for me?
The losses, yeah.
You're
Insurance.
gonna start a GoFundMe for Atlanta.
Are we on tight end or wide
exposures?
receiver? I'm all over the place. I know I did get my
We're
wide
on-
receivers. Did you give yours?
I did. I said cash. I'm going Rashee Rice. I'll echo the same thing. And whether you're playing Justin Fields or not, I'm okay with playing DJ Moore and cash. He fits my build pretty well there. And tournaments, I'm going the quartet of Buffalo San Fran guys: Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Ayuk, Deebo Samuel.
I'm scared of the San Fran fade that I have. All
You
right,
should
tight
be.
end. I know. Cash, I guess Isaiah Likely. I'm not playing London and Pitts because I'm playing London and cash, and Pitts grades out well, has high ownership. I just can't go double pass catcher for Atlanta. Ghost, I will at least listen to you on that side of life, that I can't get too much Atlanta.
Surprised you're not playing Bijan in cash too. Play all three.
No, because it's going to be Moss and Kamara. And then tournaments, I really like Hawkinson, and then a pay down tournament, Gerald Everett.
Cash, I went Brevin Jordan. If you're talking bad weather, it's the same thing for Isaiah Likely. I'll take the $400 and run. So I went Brevin Jordan. And tournaments, I'll leave Hawkinson as an honorable mention. I'm going Kincaid and Kittle.
Love it. All right. Any other we do have one more question here. Devontae Adams or Ayuk?
We got some great questions. Thank you guys for these. We got some phenomenal. This is probably the best week of questions that we've had in quite some time. So thank you guys.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
So to give you an idea, Ayuk is 77 on FanDuel. Debo is 75 and Devontae Adams is 74. Man, that 7K range is interesting on FanDuel. Nico Collins being priced up more than all these guys. Shout out Nico Collins, man. That's your boy. I remember when we were playing him, he was like 3.2K on DraftKings.
Yeah, that was a fun time in life.
That was and we were playing $6,500 Keenan Allen. That was a lot of fun.
We knew he was the guy. All right. That's it for me, unless we had another. Oh, Purdy or Tua.
Did you answer this question?
Devontae? I'm going Devontae.
You said Devontae?
Yeah. Did you? I thought you said Ayuk.
I went Ayuk, yeah. I didn't say it, but I'm going Ayuk. I didn't hear your answer, sorry. I'm going
Call
Ayuk.
me old-fashioned. I still believe.
Sorry to disagree.
Purdy or Tua? I think you got to go Purdy, right?
Yeah.
No, dude, go Tua. Go Tua. Tua against Tennessee.
Tua might throw for 300 tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm playing Tua.
I think I'd play Tua in that spot. Sorry to disagree on back-to-back.
No, I'm going Tua as well. I'm with you. You talked me into it. Kincaid, if you look at player props, dude, Dalton Kincaid has no respect. 39.5 receiving yards. So, yeah, they do think Dawson Knox is going to run some routes, but I think they know that Dalton Kincaid is probably the second best pass catcher on this team. So they're going to.
I think if anyone gets affected by Dawson Knox coming back, if he's somewhat close to a full goal, I feel like it's going to be that wide receiver 3 rotation between Hardy and Shakir and all these. I think they're going to find a way to go back to what was happening when Knox was healthy, and they were both on the field together with Kincaid playing out of the slot quite a bit there. So if anyone gets affected with Knox coming back, it's going to be the Shakirs and the Hardys of that offense.
Yeah, winning Chicago's not terrible. It'll be just a little bit. I don't know.
It's a really tough matchup, but you got to go Mostert here. Play your studs.
Yep. Higher team total too. All right. Good luck to everybody. I greatly appreciate it. If you could hit the like button, that'd be great too. And then have a great weekend. We'll talk to some of y'all on the Discord and go get them. Good luck in season long too this week. This is pretty much
good luck for
it is the
everyone
last
fighting
week.
for a playoff berth. Yes, good luck.
Get in there
in their season long leagues. Hopefully, you're not too affected by buys.